You may send you. Okay. So he probably has you just waiting. Okay, okay. I got you. Hey, what's going on, man? So that was a close one, man. I said the Texans, that was close. A little too close for comfort. You almost lost, bro.
The nation's
This meeting is being recorded.
one of the nation's foremost experts on implementing small donor democracy programs. He was the founding director of the state of Connecticut's Small Donor Campaign Finance Program, leading the program's operation and oversight while encouraging record-breaking participation. Beth most recently served as the National Director of Money in Politics and Ethics for Common Cause, where she advocated for stronger guardrails against abuses of power, for fairer and more equitable democratic structures in Washington, D.C. and across the country. I'm happy to also say that Beth is actually not a stranger to the New York City Campaign Finance Board. She was our Deputy General Counsel from 2003 to 2006. Earlier in her career, she was a law clerk at the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, where she worked closely with now Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, founding herself as a founding board member of the CFP. Very fortunate to be able to bring Beth back to the CFP family. The experience and vision needed to lead this agency and support our city's fantastic democracy program. I know, Beth, you've already hit the ground running and will lead our extraordinary team at the CFP and encourage even greater participation of candidates and voters. So let me introduce you to Beth. And Beth, now it's up to you. Your time to talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rich. And thank you to the chair, Rick, and to Kitty and Greg and Larry. First of all, for the confidence that you've shown in me and for your extraordinary leadership of the New York City Campaign Finance Board. I am humbled and honored to be the new executive director. I could not be more thrilled. There is a way that it is like coming home, but coming home to something that got a huge, expansion while I was away because of how dedicated and tremendous the board members are and the team, the staff that work on this. It is a credit to all the very hard work of the board and also the staff that the Campaign Finance Board keeps growing. And I don't mean in numbers of people, I mean in numbers of awesome responsibilities for the people of New York City. And I am really honored to lead the team and hope to continue that extraordinary trajectory where when people think, where can things in city government really work how they should for everyday Americans, they think, well, the New York City Campaign Finance Board can do it because they have done so many things so well. And I think that was shown most extraordinarily in the last election, where virtually every single part of the program was changed. I actually said to the last executive director, Amy Lopez, who I have great respect for, as I do for the original director, Nicole Gordon, I said, wow, people think you're magic. And then the New York City Campaign Finance Board proved itself to have that magic and got an extraordinary program up and running where everything changed. And this independent, nonpartisan body of the commission oversees this incredible team with the Small Donor Democracy program that is like none other in the country, and this team also engages voters via NYC Votes, and it is really extraordinary. I will add a couple of prepared comments because I think it's just worth uplifting that we have put out a report, the post-election report from the 2021 elections, and I had the opportunity to speak just a little bit about the last elections to the council yesterday. And in preparing those remarks, which are available online, I think it's just worth lifting up, certainly at my first public opportunity, that The 2021 elections were like nothing we've ever seen before in New York City. Term limits created opportunities for a really diverse array of hopefuls, and 2/3 of the city's 51 council districts had no incumbent on the ballot. The cycle kicked into gear with the pandemic still raging in New York City and beyond, and concerns about traditional methods of fundraising changed the way that campaigns work. They had to go from in-person fundraising, which became very rare and used to be quite common, certainly for collecting threshold contributions. We used to advise people to have spaghetti dinners, but those became dangerous. So people had to accelerate their reliance on online tools, which is easier for some than others. And even with all of this, in 2021, we were able to pay $130 million in public funds to over 300 candidates. So it is fair to say that the New York City program fundamentally changes and changed in 2021 how New Yorkers run for city office. These are voluntary programs, and that means that candidates have to join and then join again. And that is why we also look all the time for opportunities to improve the candidate experience. We are working on that as we always have, but that is work that I plan to accelerate together with the extraordinary team and this commission. And one of the ways that we're going to do that is by bringing innovative tech solutions to the candidate experience and help our candidates better engage with us and with their contributors. We also have work to do on how we further engage the public with our work. We need to tell more stories that connect our work for democracy with the kitchen table issues that people think about every day. And there are a lot of stories to tell. We also can do a better job explaining to New Yorkers that we also serve a critical anti-corruption goal. And better understand how our campaign finance program and our oversight connects to the obligation that we have for everyday Americans. We do bargain with power for the people we regulate, but we also do it for the people we serve, the New York City public. It's a difficult job because we run both a good government program and a regulatory agency here. But I will say for me, there is no place I would rather be, and I don't think there's any place that does it better. So with the 2022 midterms behind us, the next order of business is focusing on the upcoming 2023 primaries. And we have a lot of hard work ahead of us. But I am confident that our team here at the Campaign Finance Board will continue to be the beacons of democracy for New York City and people all across the country. Thank you.
All right, I neglected in my role as acting chair to get a vote on the minutes from the September 15th meeting. So can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So move.
It's second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the minutes are approved. Do we have a back chair report or no?
Actually, we're going to ask Eric Friedman, our assistant executive director of public affairs, titles are long here, to give that because he ably led that meeting and our back chair had an emergency. So Eric, if you'll take it.
Eric, you're on.
Thanks, Rich, and thank you, Beth. As you note, our Voter Assistance Advisory Chair, Zoilo Torres, couldn't be with us this morning, so I will deliver his report in his stead. Again, I'm Eric Friedman. I am Assistant Executive Director for Public Affairs, and again, good morning to members of the board, to CFB staff, and a happy holidays to everybody. Just a couple of notes about the 2022 midterm elections that we all just made our way through. The voting numbers in this past election in November didn't surpass what we saw 4 years prior in the previous midterms in 2018, but we're still impressive nonetheless. New York City, as it does, turned out more than anywhere else in the entire state. About 1.8 million voters registered a vote in the gubernatorial election. We also saw, and this is really heartening to us, saw an increase in the number and proportion of voters who turned over their ballot and made sure they cast a vote on the various ballot proposals in this election, compared to what we saw in 2021 in the mayor's race, with which also had proposals on the ballot. As folks know, those ballot proposals are always a kind of a key part of the voter information campaign that we conduct. And so again, just a lot of credit to the folks in our public affairs division, our marketing and digital communications unit, who lead that effort to get voters involved and ready to vote with confidence. We've also seen a lot of press inquiries around language access at the polls, and that's an issue we're closely monitoring. The results of this past midterm election were just certified by the Board of Elections in the past couple of weeks. Our policy and research unit, the CFB, is already hard at work taking those results and analyzing them. And the results of that analysis, which will have a special focus on our unique charter mandate, focused in equity to lift up and empower communities who are underrepresented among voters at large, will culminate in the publication of our voter analysis report in this coming April. I want to note also briefly that the Voter Assistance Advisory Committee held a hearing last night, which is one of our two mandated post-election hearings that the committee holds each year. We heard from voters about their experience voting in the 2022 elections. I heard from a good number of individuals and organizations about the midterm elections. They delivered testimony to the committee about their experience, about some of the confusion that resulted from the recent redistricting. And that's a testimony about voters' experiences, especially using the ballot marking devices, and other ways that we can improve and do better in our outreach to voters. And as we do after these hearings, the information that we heard will be collected. It'll be published to our website. It'll be shared with our colleagues at the Board of Elections and policymakers and legislators, both at the city and state level. Just a couple notes before I hand it back about some of the work that we conduct under our NYC Votes campaign. I want to mention the New York City Youth Poet Laureate program, which is a voting-themed spoken word poetry competition, which is aimed at increasing youth voter turnout. It's a very important audience for us. And it does that by educating New York City students about their power to decide the leadership and direction of the city. And I want to take this time to congratulate Stephanie Pacheco, who is the 2023 NYC Youth Poet Laureate. She is a student. And she's an organizer from the Bronx that has a goal of uplifting her community by using her words as tools for liberation, championing the belief that a better world is possible. We've had a long association with Youth Poet Laureate program. We're proud of all the students that have come through that program, particularly of Stephanie, and want to wish her the best of luck on her future endeavors. And so I want to thank our longtime partners at Urban Word NYC. I want to thank Olivia Brady, who is our youth engagement coordinator, and for all the work that they do together to ensure that our city's youth have their opportunities to let their voices be heard. And with that, I will hand it back to the chair, or to our acting chair today, Rich.
Okay, thank you, Eric. The next thing we have is something, a tradition we started 2 years ago. Because, a lot of these meetings, not so much today, but a lot of these meetings, we focus on penalizing campaigns, who didn't fulfill all their obligations. Sometimes the penalties are small, sometimes the penalties are large. And, excuse me. And, sometimes they're large, but there are a lot of campaigns who go through the audit process who are not penalized at all. We find no violations. No violations. And so we like to publicly acknowledge those. And I'm going to ask Beth if you could read off the list.
Yes, except for that I don't have the list, unfortunately.
Oh, 1 second.
Sorry about that.
I can't talk now. I'm in a meeting. So I have the list. Okay.
Sorry.
I apologize.
That's okay.
Okay. Here is the list, and obviously some of these campaigns are small and some are larger. These so far they're all that I'm going to read from the 2021 election cycle. Devin Balkand, public advocate. Treasurer, also Devin Balkand. Tina Brown, City Council, District number 17. Tina was also the treasurer. Louis Cespedes, City Council District 45, and the treasurer was Monica Gutierrez. Avatar Davi, who was ran for mayor, was also the treasurer. Robert Elstein, Borough President of Brooklyn. Kenneth Elstein was the treasurer. Miguel Estrella, City Council number 7, District 7. Ramona Ravel was the treasurer. Cheryl Fedek, City Council District 29. Susan Stewart was the treasurer. Berlene Fields was the Brooklyn Borough President. Treasurer was Camille Orta. Vitaly Filipenko, Mayor, is also the zone treasurer. Cleopatra Fitzgerald, Mayor. Jeanette Domenech Soto was the treasurer. Raja Flores, Mayor. Michael Williamson was the treasurer. Aaron Foldenauer, Mayor, also the treasurer. Sabrina Gates, City Council, District 33. Leslie Aradia was the treasurer. Pierre Gooding, City Council number 9. Cherich Alam was the treasurer. Pamela Hamilton Johnson, City Council District 12. Geneva Johnson was the treasurer. Harriet Hines, City Council District 40. Terry Wilson was the treasurer. Brian Hodge Vasquez, Bronx Borough President, was also zone treasurer. Suri Jackson, City Council District 46. Sean Woods was the treasurer. Siraj Jaswal, City Council 25, was also, I guess, her own treasurer. Angelo King, City Council District 24, was also zone treasurer. Deidre Levy, City Council 35, was her own treasurer. Michael Lewin, Manhattan Borough President, own treasurer. Lilith Lozano, City Council District 15. Aisha Hernandez Ahmed was the treasurer. Carl Lundgren, City Council 18, was his own treasurer. Nancy Martinez, City Council District 31. Susan Russell was the treasurer. Bernadette McNear, City Council District 9, her own treasurer. Eben Mossop, City Council District 28, the own treasurer. Juan Pagan, City Council District 2. Ana Rosario was the treasurer. Alex Pond, controller, his own treasurer. Jason Price, City Council District 49. Laverne Long was the treasurer. Louis Polifido, Manhattan Borough President. Vic Pastija was the treasurer. Paul Rodriguez, controller. Nathan Weiner was the treasurer. Nathan Weiner, excuse me. Catherine Rojas, Mayor. Nathalie Felice was the treasurer. Sheba Simpson, City Council District 9, her own treasurer. Edward Sanino, Mayor, own treasurer. Francis Spangberg, City Council 19, own treasurer. Marco Tamayo, City Council number 5. Elizabeth Nelson, treasurer. Eric Ulrich, public advocate. Craig Caruana was the treasurer. And that was, citywide. That was 219A, not a 221 campaign. Zach Wiener, City Council District number 6. Joseph Gallagher was the treasurer. And Thomas Zimmich, Borough President Queens. Karina Zimmich, treasurer. So that's the list, as you can see. Some campaigns obviously very small, you can tell by the nature of the list. Some larger, including a citywide campaign for public advocate in 2019. All right, the next thing we have on the agenda is public funds payment, and I'm going to hand it, I guess, to you, Beth.
Yes, so we are asking the board to vote and authorize a single payment today for the Tony Avella 2023 campaign, and the payment amount, recommended payment amount is $83,106.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any others?
That's it. We expect to have more next month.
Okay. The next thing listed on the agenda is vote on penalty guidelines. The board is still discussing those, and we'll vote on those at the next meeting. Vote on proposed rules. Is that you, Beth, or is that Bethany?
I think we'll go to Bethany on that.
Yes, good morning. Bethany Persky, General Counsel for the CFB. Today, the board will vote on proposed amendments to the board rules regarding disclosure, transition and inauguration entities, and the voter guide. These amendments are being made to streamline and improve the candidate experience and to ensure that the rules comport with amendments to local laws. Pursuant to Section 1043 of the New York City Charter, the proposed rules will be published in the city record, and after a 30-day public comment period, the board will hold a public hearing for anyone who wishes to testify. The hearing will be held remotely, and the access link will be posted on the board's website. Thank you.
Any questions any board member has about the rules? I have a motion to approve the proposed rules.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Proposed rules are now go out. Now I'm going to ask for a vote to go into executive session to discuss pending litigation and other matters, and then to adjourn from there since there's no more matters requiring public action. Have such a motion?
So moved. Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
A motion granted. All right. See everybody next month.
Thank you. Yeah, we can get back, or we can stay here, whatever people prefer.